If you want to become a better strategic planner, you need to understand the difference between strategic planning and financial planning. The question of what's strategic versus a financial plan comes up often. In fact, when reviewing strategic plans, it's easy to see that they overlap and at times get confused. Here's a few examples of initiatives that commonly appear in strategic plans. As you read these statements, it's clear that they are financial goals, but are they strategic? They are so often found in strategic plans in one form or another that one might think they are strategic. In truth, most of the time the three financial initiatives not only aren't strategic, but don't have a strategic plan to support them, and as a consequence, are not likely to be met. So let's go over how to separate the two, financial and strategic, because keeping them separate in your mind and planning efforts will help you be a better strategic planner. Let's go over 3 simple rules of thumb to help explain the difference between strategic and financial planning. The first and main point is growth versus survival. A strategic plan is a plan for growth, highlighting the goals and action items that are being selected as the preferred route and emphasis to drive growth. It's like saying, of the 43 different directions the business could go this year, what are the 3 most promising efforts that, if resourced, will drive growth? In contrast, a financial plan is a plan to manage limited resources with priority and ensure survival. For example, if you were a farmer, it would be similar to your water plan. You need to plan to have resources to meet demands as well as enough daily flow to keep existing production underway. So, does the financial plan drive growth? Yes, ultimately, but it's not the same. One has to survive to grow, but survival is not growth. In farming language, securing water is not the same as strategically thinking ahead and predicting where the market is going to go, and deciding which crops to plant, when, and where. Second, 90% of the time, financial planning aids strategic planning. Financial planning and financial monitoring is vital to support your strategic planning and execution. Organizations will have a difficult time doing much strategically if they slip into insolvency. On the other hand, many organizations have financial outcomes listed as part of their strategic plan, when they really should be outcomes based upon a strategic initiative or effort. Don't confuse the two. Don't list your financial goals as a strategic plan. Keep clear in your planning what is being chosen to drive growth, then anchor that by framing it in financial outcomes. For example, you may decide to drive growth by reallocating 5% of your operating capital from engineering to CRM, but the strategy is to emphasize CRM over engineering to drive growth, not the budget amount or the increase in sales. Those are just resources and outcomes. Third, 10% of the time, financial planning is strategic planning. Financial planning becomes a part of the strategic plan when it moves beyond keeping the trains running, by balancing books, paying bills, maintaining cash flow, and it moves into how do we use or shape finances based upon what it does to growth. Financial goals are outcome targets, but in order for financial goals to assist in strategic planning, they must address the vital strategic question of how are we going to achieve that goal, what specific approach will we adopt, and why do we think the market will respond? Remember, in order to become a better strategic planner, you need to understand the difference between strategic versus financial planning. On a very basic level, the difference is rooted in placing the emphasis on growth versus survival. They are both critical and both need to be managed. In order to achieve your strategic plan, you must fund the initiatives. One tool that can assist in strategic planning and execution to check out is ManagePro. If you'd like to learn more about ManagePro and how it can help your business, visit us at www.managepro.com or call 707-487-3000 to speak with one of our representatives.